Hello everybody, it's Crafty Ria and welcome back to another video. If you're new here, welcome. And if you're returning, welcome back. If you haven't yet subscribed, I'd love it if you hit that subscribe button and then click on that bell so you don't miss any videos. Today I am doing one of my favorite things, which is the CraftyRia's card sketch. This is number 15. I try to do these about once a week. So today I will be making a recycled Christmas card and a regular card. I'm going to go ahead and zoom you out. And let's go ahead and get started. Let's start with the recycled Christmas card. I know it's not July anymore, but if you know me, you know we do Christmas cards all year long. For both of these cards, I will be using an A2 size card base, which is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. It's a regular piece of cardstock folded in half and cut in half. I use just the regular office supply stuff, nothing fancy. I have a sentiment for the inside of the Christmas card out of my card scrap box. I have some embellishments that I thought would be good for the top part. And then I needed something like this to go there. So I found these cards in my stash. And look at all these snowmen. So I thought that would be really cool to take one of those off and to use it there. I know it's a little bigger than that circle, but I think it's pretty good. I have 2 of those cards. I'll set one aside. I only need one snowman. And then if you saw my Happy Mail video recently, I got this in some Happy Mail. So I thought I would use this big wide ribbon at the bottom since the snowman is so tall. So that will be our first card. I wanted to do a background paper since the snowman is white. So I picked a piece out of my scrap drawer, which is this. And let me go ahead and take the snowman off. I think I'll go with this guy that has green. I want to try to carefully get him off of the card base. I'm going to use my bone folder and just try to work him off. He's not going to come off easily, so I'm going to cut him. Let's see. I'm just going to cut behind this piece and disassemble this card. I don't want to ruin the snowman. And then I will just cut this piece off here. Get my littler scissors. And then I'm just going to cut this green part out behind him and go behind whenever I can, because that is really stuck on there. And if I try to peel it off, it is going to ruin the snowman. And there's this extra piece on the back that I will just trim off. All right, so there we go. We have Mr. Snowman or Mrs. Snowman. I'll call it a Mr. I kind of cut the bottom a little bit weird on this, so let me even it out a little bit. There we go. That looks good. And then he will be on there. I thought he looked better on something rather than just the white background. So I will cut this piece down I have to decide if I want to use this top part or this bottom part. We have them looking like that. I think I'll use the bottom piece. It's a little more interesting. This piece is 4 inches wide, so I'm going to cut it to be 5 1/4. So it's 1/4 of an inch smaller than the card base, which gives me 1/8 of an inch border. When I make cards with my envelope punch board, it leaves me with a 4-inch strip of paper left over because envelopes for this size card is 8 by 8 square, so I have a 4-inch border left over. Can't talk today. I haven't had enough caffeine. I'm filming this in the morning. Okay, so let me go ahead and give this a cut. I wanted to leave plenty on both sides since it's kind of loose in the middle and it may come apart as it has a little bit there, which is okay. So this will go on kind of like, I want to see where I want to put it. Kind of like right there is good. Let me get my handy dandy glue gun. I'm just going to run 1 strip of glue across the front just to kind of help hold it in place a little bit. And turn it over, and I'll fold it over in the back. And since it is such a wonky ribbon, I'm going to use just regular Scotch tape to put it over the back like that. And that way it'll keep that from fraying and coming apart on the back. There we go. Let me trim off some of that tape that's sticking out. Let me see if I can peel it off. Yeah. I don't want the tape to be over the edge of the card. There, that's better. And it's okay that it doesn't line up on the ends perfectly. That's all right. It'll just add a little prettiness to the card. And this is thin paper. It's not cardstock, so I'm definitely going to use a dry adhesive. I don't like using a wet adhesive on things that are thin because it can buckle underneath. I've got my little snowman there, which is adorable, and I think I will raise him up on some of these foam squares. I will just put one at the bottom and one at the top. I think these cards with the snowman, I think you can get them at Sam's Club. So you might want to check after Christmas and see if you can get some, if that's something that you want to use in your crafts. They have them with different things, presents and snow globes, and I've seen different ones over the years. They make great little embellishments for cards. And then I think I'll use this one in green for the top. And that'll go right on there. This has been on and off of my thing, it keeps falling off. So the backing. So I'm going to add a little bit of glue to it just to help hold it in place better, because I think some of the adhesive may have worn off. And this is my Elmer's glue, but it is in an art glitter glue bottle with the fine metal tip. Let me get my little sentiment. Let me see if I can get it to fit. Yes, look at that. It fits on there perfectly. What do you know? So let me go ahead and use up this scrap piece of paper. And I'm going to just trim that a little bit because it would be a little bit wide for the inside of the card if I didn't. And then I will just stick that on the inside. I really like how this turned out. Now, if I had another piece of this paper in a 12 by 12 size, I will definitely use it to make an envelope to match. I'm not sure if I have any more. I'll have to look through my scrap drawer or my Christmas paper drawer. So there we go. He's all blinged up and ready to go with that pretty ribbon. Okay, so that card is done. And let's go ahead and move on to the next card. Since it is still technically summer, I'm going to go ahead and use this that came in some recent Happy Mail. I also have this scrap of ribbon that Melissa sent me in my Patreon package. This wave was also in that same Happy Mail package, and I found this piece of paper. It's just the beach. That was in a 12 by 12 or 6 by 6 pad that I had. And I have these that have been in my drawer for a long time, and I thought this went well with it as my circle embellishment. Let me get my card base. And this is what we'll work with. So I'm going to set these things aside. And I'm going to cut this paper down. I'm going to cut this at 5 3/8 by 4 1/8. I have to think about that for a second. And I cut it the wrong way. Okay, so I accidentally cut this paper the wrong way. This is a beach paper, and I cut it this way instead of this way. So I'm going to manipulate my sketch because I don't have another piece of this in my stash, nor do I have anything else that would work, I think, with the embellishments that I have chosen. So I'm going to work with it this way, and I'm going to alter the sketch just a little bit. I will be using the word summer up there. I think that goes really well with the beach because that looks like water behind it. And then I will be putting this here and this embellishment down there. And that's just kind of that sketch just turned sideways a little bit. So I think we're going to go with that. When life gives you lemons, you have to make lemonade, right? So let's go ahead and get this card put together. I'm going to put one piece of adhesive here. And I will put this down like that. I won't be using this piece since it's not really big enough. Maybe I won't. I'll put that there for a minute. These are Brad's from my mind's eye. As you can see, they're attached with brads on the back. So I just went ahead and removed this one so I could play with it and see how it looked on the card itself. And I'm wondering if this would go okay there. Just have it on that side. No, I don't think I like it. Okay. And then the word summer will go up in that corner. I think that would be perfect. So I'll go ahead and bring this ribbon over to the back. I'm just going to fold this over onto the back. And I will use my bone folder and just crease that ribbon down really good. Give it a good crease there. And then I will adhere this to the card base. Make sure it's opening the right way. And when I stick my mats down, I hold it in 2 corners and I line up the other 2 corners before I set it down. I kind of have my fingers behind it in the way so it doesn't accidentally set itself down. And then once I'm ready there, I just move my fingers out of the way. Now this is a brad and I did not stick it through the back, so I will have to adhere it on the front. I'm going to use a piece of this really narrow foam tape. This is a 1/16 of an inch thick, and I think the other is an 1/8. So I didn't want it to raise up too much because you already have this thicker brad on the front. And I'm not going to use any of that behind the word summer since it already has some foam tape in there. And I'm just going to run my tape runner on the back of this. I don't like to make the cards too thick. They have to be less than 1/4 of an inch thick to mail with 1 stamp. Otherwise, it's considered a large envelope and you have to put more postage. So there's my bright and cheery summer card. I like the way it turned out, even though I had a mishap. And I do like the snowman. So with the card sketch, you can do just about anything you like with it. Have it go any way you like, whether it be in the portrait or the landscape. So that's what I did. I kind of just maneuvered it. So that goes to show you can use it for any shape or size card that you like. Thanks again for watching. I do appreciate each and every one of you. If you haven't yet subscribed, please do click on that subscribe button. Leave me a comment below. Let me know which card is your favorite. And also go on and head on over to Create with CraftyRia, my Facebook group. I always post the card sketch and I love to see what you make with it as well. So feel free to add your cards and your creations over there. And if you haven't yet checked out my Patreon account, please do. I will link it below. Go check it out. I have lots of options over there for you. Thanks again, everyone, for watching. And until the next video, you know what to do. Go get crafting. Bye-bye.